last time I showed you the Ultimate II Plus, and I showed you all the ports on it and basically all the features, what it can do, how to actually connect it up, you know, hardware wise, everything to do with the hardware. I even opened this thing up and showed you exactly what's inside of it, you know, and the soldering job done, well, the actual job done on it inside, the soldering job, everything. If you wish to watch that video, it is a must, you know, the part 1. It is linked in the letter I in the top right corner or in the description below. And today what I wish to do is actually connect this up and go through the software side of things. How to update the firmware, how to set this thing up, and how to load games or whatever programs through each of, you know, through each of the ways of loading, like disc, cartridges, and tapes. So let's get started. So the first thing that needs to be done is you go to the website, and the 1541 website, link is in the description below, and you download the latest firmware for the Ultimate II Plus, and get your flash drive, copy it onto there, and of course copy your games onto there and everything, your D64s or your top files or, you know, cartridge files even. So you get all that and copy it onto this, and then insert this into the 1541. I'm gonna do now. So as mentioned in the last part, the cartridge has 3 buttons. Now from this you know, plugged in perspective, it has 3 buttons. The one on the right, well, on all perspectives it's got 3 buttons, but anyway, the one on the right is the button on the far right, that is the reset button. Now, that is a reset button, not a reboot button. There is a difference, and I will show you later on. Now, the one in the center, that is to get into the Ultimate II Plus menu. Now, the one on the right is a freezer button. So let's say, for example, you got an action replay cartridge, you know, this is programmed as one to load up as boot or anything like that, or retro replay. That is the freeze function of that cartridge. It's not the actual 1541 function itself. Function button itself. So let's go into the sender. Now this is, you know, you won't see this initially. This is how I've set it up. Now these are my settings, my color scheme and everything. Let's flash the firmware. I've already flashed it, but let's flash it once again just to show you. So all you need to do is go into your, you'll see a USB there. So yeah, you enter your flash disk and then you enter your firmware updates. I've organized my USB into folders, which is perfecto. So firmware update, enter, Ultimate II directory, enter. Now the other two, you only need to deal with this U2B file because that's Ultimate II Plus. The other ones are just Ultimate II. So they just need to do U2, and then just run the update. Flash runtime, yes, and it just flashes everything. Once it flashes everything, all your settings are gone from the previous one, so you're gonna have to set your settings all over again. So I will show you exactly how to do that, you know, since I'm resetting everything. You want to watch too. You want to watch paint dry as well with me. Everything's done. Please turn off your machine. Yep, do as it says. As in literally turn it off, not just reset it. So, enough. Okay, so it did not completely reset my settings, and I'll tell you why. That is because I've updated the firmware, as in I didn't update it. It was 3.2, so I flashed 3.2 on top of that, so I think it's kept the settings. However, when I updated it from 2, my settings were all reset. So yeah, back up your settings or take note of them or whatever, you know, before you actually do a firmware update. Anyway, now when you put your Commodore 64 on, you know, straight away you will get this screen. Now this screen initially confused me. I was just like, okay, this is, if you're not familiar with, you know, retro replay or the replay flash cartridges, you'll be thinking to yourself, okay, what do I do here? Oh, utilities. This has nothing to do with the Ultimate. This screen has nothing to do with the Ultimate II Plus itself. You need to press the middle button, yeah, and then it takes you here to the thingy. Yours is gonna look, for the first time if you use it, yours is gonna look black with white text or something. Now me, I cannot see, you know, properly white text on black background. You know, I have, you know, a certain issue with a sensitivity with my eyes, so I cannot see that. So I have to change it to this. which is comfortable for my eyes. Now I'll tell you exactly how to do that. Now to get into the menu, the setup menu, you press Shift and F1, which is F2 on the Commodore 64. Okay, so if you want to set your user interface and settings, actually let's go through all of them. Clock settings, of course, that's the current time. This has a battery backup clock, so do set your clock and everything. To come out of that, you press Del, and then to go down, you just do the arrow key thing, which confused me. The arrow keys on the Commodore 64 computer, I'm not used to them yet. So anyway, audio settings, this is the audio output settings. We will mess around with that later on when we do the SID testing and stuff and so forth. So let's come out of that. Software IEC settings, those are your settings there. I don't need to mess with them myself at the moment. So let's come out of that. C64 and Cartridge settings. Now, the screen you saw first, that was whatever cartridge RAM is, programmed to come up at boot up. So it will think that is what's plugged in. So if you want to change this, go to the cartridge at the top, this, and you change it to, it's got all these that are flashed in RAM, and you can also have your own custom ones. You can program them in if you like, but it's got a lot of the main ones here. It's got Action Replay 4.26, Retro Replay, which was the one that was on, Snapshot, Super Snapshot, Tasks and Coordinate out, don't know these, and it's got NTSC versions of a couple of them. Now the cartridge settings, I have selected the Epix Fast Loader cartridge, as you can see there. It's just, I find it most convenient, it's the one I use the most. If I ever use Action Replay, I will change it to that. If we come out of this, we come out of this by pressing Del, and Del again, and it comes up into the main, USB file browser menu, Now, let's reboot. We need to reboot the Commodore 64. So we go into the function menu, which is like, I think it's called the function menu, which is like F5, and it comes up with this function menu. Now to reboot this, there's reset, which just resets your Commodore 64 as in with the current thing. Reboot, I think it's equivalent to turning it off and on, possibly. It's a hard reset, soft reset kind of thing. So you do reboot, yeah. Now it is rebooted the entire thing, and it comes up as a fast load cartridge. That's what the Commodore 64 thinks it is. Now, again, middle button, get back into the 1541. So let's go back into the global settings menu, which is F2, Shift and F1. Now, user interface settings. Now, as I said, this will appear as like, black, white on black, which I hate. Background color, you can change that foreground color. Let's just to show you, let's change the changes whatever you freaking want. The selected item color, which I've done white. You can do the border color, let's do that. I don't know. Let's do it green. And then you press Del. You can see the border color is green. You can really goof around with these settings. And background color, you can make that freaking orange. That's gonna be painful. Nice and sunny. It's actually making me feel warm. Which is kind of cool for those winter evenings messing with the Commodore 64. In other words, you can customize it however you want. Actually, you know what? Let's keep it orange. Kind of stands out a bit more. So the Ultimate II Plus is actually simulating not one 1541 drive, but actually two. So you can set each one of them up, as in you can set the the bus ID 8. One of them's 8. That's going to be disk 1. The 9. I'm assuming 9. Drive B is 9. Yes, that's cool. And you can actually daisy chain your original one into this setup also. And then this is the network settings. Whatever network you want to do your networking and stuff, this is where you go. The menu system, to be honest, is actually pretty straightforward. So now, let's try out some cartridge games. Okay, so we go into the cartridges, and simply just... let's do something simple. Let's just do Ms. Pacman. And I always preferred Ms. Pacman to As you can see, it has loaded Miss Pacman. It just treats it as a Miss Pacman cartridge, and this official one. So all you need to do is just press fire and play. And if I'm honest, I actually prefer Miss Pacman and the 2600 to this. I mean, I prefer Miss Pacman to Pacman anyway, but I prefer Miss Pacman on the 2600. I think it's because the sounds are a bit too high-pitched in this. See what I mean? It's just a bit too high. So, we got the point. Let's just get this. Let's load up the... if you press reset here, it will just keep coming to the cartridge. Now that's when you press that reset button, the far left button. So it's just thinking there's a cartridge in. So what you need to actually do is go and press the middle button, which takes you there. Go to F5 and reboot, which clears everything, resets everything, reboots it, and takes that cartridge out. That's how you take the cartridge out. So you don't do reset, you do reboot through the menu. So let's go back into the center button and choose another cartridge. Now we have Prince of Persia here. Now this is exciting for me because there was no, shockingly, there was no Prince of Persia on Commodore 64. I don't know why, but somebody has recently done a port of Prince of Persia 2011. Oh, this is so cool. And by the way, the stereo is the real stereo sit bud which I put in. If you want to watch that, then links in the description below. Okay, can I skip this please? Skip please. Actually, let's look at the graphics. This is very close to the Amiga version. And I'm so glad they chose the Amiga version to kind of, make close to this. Was that a door? Sounded like a freaking ant burping. The joystick's in the freaking wrong port, that's why. Miss Pacman uses a different joystick port. This is just like the Amiga version. Oh my god. It's so cool. I love this. This is so cool. It's one of my favorite games on the Amiga, and this is such a freaking amazing version. Shut up, stupid freak. No! How dare you? Anyway, that's a cue to move on. So, center button always takes you to the menu, the Ultimate 1541. There you go. You have to press it a few times there for some reason. We're gonna try a disc game now. So we're gonna reboot this. Okay, so we have everything rebooted, not reset, reboot. And we go into the center button again, the menu. And cartridges, no, we've just done cartridges, so we wanna do discs. So let's find which discs to do. Let's do Sam's Journey, actually. I remember putting that in. Because I want to try this. I've seen it around. It looks freaking amazing. And I want to try it. So all you need to do is just select it, enter, return. And not mount the disk, run the disk. Right. Maddie from the future here, right? So we have, what I've realized that I was doing when loading disks is I was making a mistake. Let's go into the menu here. Yes, Sanxion is, expected later on in this video. This is Maddie from the future, so yeah, expect that. So what is gonna happen is, what I was doing, I was saying run disk. Now what run disk actually does, I've just discovered this now. What run disk does is, you've got your fast load cartridge, plugged in at the moment. You press run disk, it resets it reboots the Commodore 64 and starts running this. Which means it has unplugged the fast-load cartridge. That's why it was loading slow. Rather than run disk, let's do mount disk. And it stays on the screen. Then you do Commodore key and run stop. That's how you do it with the fast-load freaking cartridge. That's what I missed. So, let's go back to the present moment. And remember, when I'm loading disks and I do run disk, no. I should be doing mount disk and then Commodore key and run stop. Just bear that in mind. And Sam's Journey is one which I've always wanted to kind of play. I've been getting around to it. In fact, I'm actually going to do a proper gameplay on this on my channel. Because I've seen this around. It looks absolutely amazing. Nice music. I like it. Alex Nay, well done. I love it actually. Oh, let's play. Select game. One. Okay. Don't know what I'm doing here. Okay, insert this too. What you need to do is, while it's here, press the center, the menu button. Go into disk 2. Return, mount on B. That should mount. Why didn't it mount? Okay, so rather than mounting on disk B, just mount it on, just to mount disk, mount it on A. Okay, I didn't know that. But that's just easy, it's just pick the disk up and everything is fine. Am I supposed to catch stuff here? Okay. Is it me or does this remind you of Alex Kidd? In Miracle World on the Master System. Where do we go then? Ah, okay. Took me a while to figure that out. Sweet! This is so cool. Oh no! You cannot do it to the stupid wasps. What a freaking grumpy looking wasp. It is. I like the music on this. It's just got a nice, happy feeling, but an emotional happy feeling, if you know what I mean. Ooh, it's done a Mario thing there. Or, no, not a Mario thing, sorry. A Gianna Sisters thing. I'm sorry, but I'm Amiga proud. It's my favorite system. I'm an Amiga and I'm proud for the Amiga without killing myself. No! Actually, I'm the Commodore 64. Gianna Sisters. Sweet! I like Sam's Journey. In fact, I love it. Okay, that's the continue. Restart point, I mean. Freaking amazing! Oh, you could pick them up! I didn't know this. This is so cool! I love this. What the freak? It looks like he's upside down. He's got a hat on. Okay. Okay, this is turning into a gameplay of this. Which is not what I intended, but it's just... Can you blame me? It's just ended up being... Okay, so what we need to do here is just kind of like, you know, move away from Sam's journey for just a moment. You know what I'm going to be playing later on. And let's try a tape, you know? So let's go to the tips. Let's try Batman the movie. And I'm gonna load that as a tape. Oh no, wait, we need to freaking reboot, don't we? Oh, reset. Okay, that's fine. You can just use the reset button for this. For the cartridges, you need to use reboot. For this, reset. You know, it's fine. So let's go back in there. Batman the movie tape. Run tape. It's as easy as that. And it starts to load, just like, but you can only do this, of course, if you've got the tape adapter. But it starts to load the tape, just as if it would, you know, exact cycle. And yes, this is real time with a wonderful ocean loader music. And by the way, with this, you can your entire, you know, Commodore 64 cassette collection. What you can do is you can back them up as tap files using your Ultimate II. So using Ultimate II, you can connect your other one, copy them as tap files, and you know, you'll have your backups then. You choose to play them from the dataset, the real dataset, or the backups. I've never done that before. Once I figure that out, I will, you know, show you how to do it. And I think you could do the same with the discs as well, the floppy disks. You can like back yours up and as D64s. Here we go. I don't know, but there's something about Batman, especially the Amiga version. You know, that's my favorite. That's just the one I remember. Just like freaking awesome. But there's something about this game I really like. I mean, technically it's stupid hard. You've got a freaking 3 lives for the entire game, and that is unfair. 3 lives will be freaking used up in this first level on its own most of the time. No! This is so cool! And this, yeah, we've loaded a tap file. I don't think I've noticed the enemies don't, like these idiots, they don't actually climb the ladders when they see you. Why does he fall so slowly? The frick, is he on the moon? Stupid idiot. Look, he's like on the frickin' moon. It's like low gravity. What the freak? He just appeared from a wall? Freak. Oh no, I've got stupid gas cut. Idiot. Actually, I haven't done a nostalgia time on this or the Amiga one. I'm gonna do that. I like the atmosphere of this game, especially this Axis factory. My favorite levels in this game are this one and this Axis chemical factory and the cathedral at the end. These 2 levels I really like. The other levels, they're bleh. I'd rather not even play them, to be honest. I just don't like them. It's stupid hard. Why did I try and go down into the floor? So yeah, there you go. That we've loaded a tap file, and we've loaded a disk file, and we loaded the card file. Loaded a couple of card files, and I'm excited because this has just made everything so much easier. Now we are playing Sanxion, which I got addicted to, and auto fire is always best. I love the engine sound. The wow thing going on in the background. The sound of the firing kind of sounds like you're walking around with one shoe. If you know what I mean. My mind works in weird ways, I'm sorry. Anyway. I'm gonna call it quits for now. Because this video is getting long enough and I've covered quite a few things. for one video. So what I'm going to do in part 3 is just mess around with the SID, the onboard, not just the onboard SID, of course, the actual SID, the simulated SID. And in part 4, when I finally managed to figure out how to, you know, back up your actual tapes, the Commodore 64 tapes, and also the discs, onto as tapped files and D64 files using your Ultimate II. Once I figure that out, I will show you how to do that too, and that's going to be in part 4. So these may not run, you know, as in, it may not be next week. Next week I might do something else and then come back to the Ultimate, because there's so many projects I have to do, you know, because I want to, so much stuff I want to show you. So yeah, those are the plans for the oncoming weeks. Quite a lot of things going on. So, thanks so much for your likes, your shares. Do leave your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to check out my other videos, and do subscribe for more. What the freak is this? Okay. And do subscribe for more. Also, if you wish to support me on Patreon, the link is in the description below. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter and also on Facebook. Again, links in the description below. This is really taking my attention here. No. Yeah, links in the description below. So yeah, for now, I will say adios. Sorry.